my father was a teacher and a lot of family members were teachers. And I played school growing up with my younger sisters. And I just really liked, I don't know, the organization part. I don't know. I always thought like teachers had like binders and were organized and had like clipboards. And I like that part. So like, regardless of subject, I kind of just liked having like the organizational process, and lesson planning has always been really fun to me. And then I just know that my dad, as an educator, he taught like fifth grade. He just had such a huge impact on so many people. And he passed away when I was 17. I was a junior in high school, and he passed away. And at his funeral, like so many of his students, like people who are grown up, right? Because he taught fifth grade. Like so many came and like were telling our family like how much he meant to them. And I was like, this is like what I want to do. You know, like I want to do something that impacts people. And so I knew that. Okay, so that's like I'm 17 years old, and then by that point, I was horrible at math, and I had really developed a love for history, because it was like storytelling. And I think as I've gotten older, and I've learned more, even after college, really, I'm just like, history is so important. Like, we are here because people have not learned history, right? And whose history have we been taught our whole lives? I'll go on a quick tangent. I took a history course this summer on Black women's history, which I think is something I thought I knew a lot about. And there's like so much more that I'm like, oh my God, like, why haven't I learned any of this stuff yet? You know, so I just think that it's a great subject. So that's like why I became a history teacher. Um, and you said, college. Like, should I talk briefly
Yeah,
about college?
what inspired you to major in what you majored in college?
Okay, so I chose history as my major. That was like an easy choice at that point. I think by the time I was like a junior or senior in high school, I was like, I know I want to go to first UC Davis. Was like, I guess I applied to like lots of UCs and California state schools because I knew I wanted to stay close. Uh, I grew up in the Bay Area of Mountain View. I wanted to stay close-ish to
Mm-hmm.
mom. I like get homesick even when I'm traveling with my family. I like get homesick. It's weird. I wanted to stay close. And I fell in love with UC Davis when I went there. I always thought I was going to go to Santa Barbara, but like this was a long time ago, granted. But when I went to Santa Barbara and I went to their library, it was like really dark and scary. And I was like, I needed like a bright and airy place to study. So the UC Davis library is full of windows. It is beautiful. So I chose there and it just felt right. And so I knew I wanted to do history. And then somewhere, I don't know when it was, I wanted to have a major or a minor in either Native American studies, because I started to take Native American studies classes and history courses. And I was like, again, like, I don't know any of this. Like, we are living on Native American land. But then I got distracted by women's studies, women and gender studies, which kind of like drew me in a little bit more. So I decided to minor in that. And again, very similar to history, it was just like I was learning so much that I like did not know, and I felt really upset and mad like that I didn't know this stuff, and I thought that this would be useful. Like if I became a history teacher, like I'm going to teach my students about these things so that when they get to college, like they will have more than I did. So that's kind of where that's college. And then
Mm-hmm.
research, is that the next kind of thing?
Yeah. So like outside of just studying for a class, would you say that like research is incredibly important, especially for like
Absolutely.
what you majored in? Yeah.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I just okay, so like even right now when I'm teaching, I'm always second guessing. Like, what am I saying, or is what I'm saying correct? Like I am always like, I don't know. Like what I'm saying is what's in the textbook. What I'm saying is corroborated by these other sources, but like, is there anything else that I'm missing? And I just feel like as people, we're so set into our views and our like ways that you know, people, and you've seen this, right? Like people will just say stuff and I'm like, where's the backing to that? And so obviously with history, um, like you have to do the research, you have to look at the sources in order to kind of put together what happened. And we weren't there, we can't time travel, we can't like know exactly what happened. So we have to use what's at our disposal. And the history class that I just took, again, on Black women's history, or African American women's history, the professor was just like, you know, if your students are questioning you, show them the primary sources. And so it's like, but people have had to do that, you know, like doing research is work. And I remember like when I had to do a lot of research papers, I had to like look through archives. I had to like look through old magazines and newspapers and be very gentle. And it's like that work has been done by real people and now has been digitized, which is great. So we have to like do that work, right? We have to take it upon ourselves to do the research in order to like have a more complete view. Because even when I'm teaching you guys, I'm like, I don't know, is this right? Like, is this the right thing? Because maybe I should look for more than what's in their IB textbook. So,
Yeah.
did I answer
Yeah,
that question?
Yeah. And then lastly, do you have any advice for pursuing graduate school?
In graduate school?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you did.
I did do graduate school at
Okay.
Stanford for my teaching credential. I would say like just again enjoy learning, because once I think you're done with grad school, unless you go on to a PhD or something, like
Yeah.
it's kind of it. Like you have to like
Yeah.
move on to whatever it is. So ask questions, talk to your professors, go to office hours, which is something that you definitely do, Nicole. Like you, but like take advantage of the institution that you're at, the resources that they have, um, your peers, your professors, all of that. Take advantage of it.
All right, cool. That answers all my questions.
Yay!
Thank you.
Of course.